I would say why Portugal too is you can go from the mountains to the beach in 30 minutes.
Yeah, the scenery is beautiful too.
I mean,
Beautiful.
yes. Is the water cold? Oh yes.
Ice
So,
cold.
if
If you need an ice tip, that's the place to go, to the Portuguese beaches.
That beach water is cold. It's a little
Yeah.
rough. It's not, it's not.
It's not Florida.
Yeah, it's not
a
clear
Florida
water.
beach.
It's
Or
not
St. Pete.
Miami. It's not North Shore in Chicago.
Hi, I'm JoJo.
And I'm Savania, a wife, mom, lawyer, and global entrepreneur. Years ago, I decided the world was too big to stay in one place. So I packed my bags, grabbed my little boy, with my husband's permission, of course, and made Portugal our new home. Here we share our family global journey of love, law, and legacy, the wins, the challenges, the adventures, and the lessons in faith, freedom, and family. From life in Portugal to international travel, parenting across borders, building businesses without boundaries, and of course, adventures in Chloe, my 40-year-old European car, this is what it means to live boldly. This is Living DeBarros, a global journey of love, law, and legacy.
Guys, I'm Living DeBarros, and welcome to Living DeBarros. I'm also here with
Eduardo DeBarros.
So this is my husband, guys, and we decided, especially for the first video of Living DeBarros on YouTube, we wanted to kind of talk about why Portugal. So we've had so many people ask us this question, like, why did you guys choose Portugal? Or how did you choose Portugal? And so for purposes of this video, we're going to dive into some of those questions. And in later videos, if you have more questions, definitely some of the things that have come up, we'll create those separate videos to answer specific questions that may lead or extend from this conversation. Cool?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So let's get in it. So why Portugal? I know my answer, but for you, babe, like what's your answer to that question?
Well, why Portugal? I would say that we started coming out here in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things that we knew some relatives that was in Portugal, and it was just something to do. And we said, let's just go to Portugal and go see how it is and see our relatives, and we enjoyed ourselves. That was just very quick happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it was like as soon as we got here, we fell in love. And
Well,
then that's
yeah.
when we just decided to just keep on coming back. So
I'll tell you my version. My version. All right. So prior to coming for my very first time, because this 2016 was not the first time that he had been to Portugal. He had been to Portugal many, many times before that.
yeah, I think the first time I came here was in 1988.
Yeah. So.
And then 2001. But together,
Mm-hmm.
the first time was 2016.
Right, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And the purpose of coming on that trip, I said, okay, I want to start meeting some extended family. We hadn't been to Portugal. There's a lot of family that was in Portugal at the time. So we decided to take a trip to Lisbon, Portugal. At this point, we had not met any family. Well, I hadn't met any family at all from Portugal. And I remember as if it was the exact same day, we were downtown Lisbon in the Comercio area. Literally, it borders the beach. Like, it looks completely different today than what it looked like in 2016. There were big stones on the side of the river. Now it's like all like stairs and huge docks and stuff like that. But it did not look like that in 2016. But I remember standing in the square, and I was so overcome with emotion. I turned around, I looked at him, and I said, babe, I feel like I have returned home. And it was so funny because years before we were watching House Hunters International, and I made a comment like, how do people end up going and moving to a whole nother country? Like, how do you not want to be in your own country?
That's a good point, because House Hunters International definitely point us in a direction of going somewhere else.
Yeah, but I always ask myself, like, how do people end up leaving their homeland? Like, wouldn't you want to be where you know? But when I came here to Portugal the first time and I felt that emotion, that spiritual tug on my soul, I truly, truly felt like I had come back home.
Okay.
Now, we've had people say to us, obviously, you can look at us. We are, as they would say in Portuguese, castanho ou preto gentes, right? We are brown or black people, however you consider it. And we've had people say to us, well, why would you want to be in Portugal? Because that's a white country. You know, do you want to deal with the same issues, so to speak? Well, you want to speak on that?
I think that I think you got to give every country and every area a chance. That's number one. You can't just think that just because
Of what you go through
right,
in
of
America.
what you've gone through in America is not going to happen
Or
here.
you can say Great Britain, because Great Britain is very similar to America.
I think you have to give, I know a lot of people are going to tell you what something is, but I think that you have to have your own experience too.
Right. Right. You do have to have your own experience. And a lot of times we've had people who pass judgment on a country who's never been outside their home country, or people who want to tell us how certain things are going to be, but they've not lived in that country for 40, 50 years or plus, right? And the culture is totally different. I will not say that there are not assholes here, because I have encountered them, okay? Mm-hmm. And I have encountered them primarily in Lisboa. Right now. Right now, I don't live in Lisbon anymore. Okay, agora já não moro em Lisboa. Right now, I live outside of Lisbon, about, you can say shy of an hour north in Torres Vedras, in a little village right outside the main city. And I found so much more happiness up here. In Lisbon, I have experienced, I won't really say racism, but definitely a little bit of microaggression just based on language differences, right? I remember that story I told you about in 2022. Yeah. I went into the store in the center of Rocio, and I was just trying to find some shoes, and this guy kept telling me that he didn't have my shoe size, and the shoe size was going to be too big, but it turns out the shoe sizes were completely off of whatever he had in store. And he made this comment about, well, she can't even speak Portuguese. And I said to him, I'm literally speaking your language. This isn't my first language. I'm speaking your language to you. And you want to basically pick at me for my language skills, And I remember saying something to the tune of, don't even worry about it, because I won't patronize the store. And I'm going to make sure I tell everyone that I know in this area not to patronize your store. But that was an example of, I feel like, definitely microaggress based on cultural differences, but not on the color of my skin. I don't know. Some people might argue it differently. Then we had the little man syndrome when we went down to Algarve. Algarve, excuse me, Algarve. Yeah.
Algarve.
What was that?
That was,
I
want to say
2019.
No, it wasn't 19. You were still young, so I would have to say 2020. Basically, we had tickets and they gave a seat because we had a child with us. So it was A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. So A was by itself and B and C was together. Mm-hmm. So the guy was like, well, just sit whatever. I'm like, well, I can't sit whatever because I have a child with me. That's why we put A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. Now, we proceeded to go to the back and said, of course, because he was not, and it wasn't the back, it was like right in the middle. But of course, because he didn't want to assist us, we went to the customers that was sitting in our seats and said, listen, these are our seats, and I have a kid with me, and we need to sit together. I mean, if y'all want to switch or whatever, I have no problem with that. But this is, we have to have two seats together because he's a small kid. Mm-hmm. So from there, we started going back and forth with the driver. We
Much
commute.
because before we got on the bus, remember when I had my little cooler?
Right.
He was like making comments about the cooler.
Yeah.
Then he came back and was like, "You can't enter the bus." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Then we threw it away.
Right.
We threw whatever the last bit was away, and he
felt
still
like,
had a problem.
Yeah, it felt like he kept finding something to bother us with, And then, first of all, you should have did your job and gave us
assisted
our seats
because we paid for premium seats.
Right. So then,
Turn it down. We're doing something.
so then when we started trying to get the people out of the seats that we paid for, he started acting like we was causing all this commotion. Everything is, why I can go to the police station. It's right down there. And we're like, well,
tu queres me ligar a polícia?
you go ahead and go. I mean, this is our seats. I have to sit next to him, and that's it. And then all of a sudden, he's like, well, now you need a baby seat. Come on, man.
And no one traveling on these buses have a baby seat or a booster seat or anything like that.
If you have traveled in Portugal,
in Europe, period.
In Europe, they really don't care about a booster seat or an infant seat.
Especially when you're traveling. Like when you're traveling, they should have them, but they don't have them. And I don't even believe they offered that when we were making our order on the Flixbus.
A kid can sit in the front seat, back seat, trunk. They can sit whatever. They can sit whatever. They can sit whatever. So it just kept feeling like he just kept finding something and finding something. Eventually, someone moved for me and JoJo to sit together, and then
I just
Savine just sat on the other side, and we just continued with our ride and everything. And once we got to the bus station, she let her have it.
Oh, I let him have it in Portuguese. And remember, he was so scared. Me. Sim. Eu pergunto dele, que este é o teu nome? Porque tu não certo. Não estás certo. And I told him, I said, you did not treat us right. You did not give us good customer service. What is your name? Nope. What is your identification number? And he was trying to act like he didn't know who I was talking about, what I was talking about. I ended up going off on that guy. I don't know what his deal was. I can't really say. I don't know if it was a race issue or anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the whole point of us bringing up that story is I have had, those two encounters that felt like some form of discrimination, but it didn't feel like discrimination in the States.
Yeah.
Right? Discrimination in the States, people are calling you the N-word with no problem. People are getting ready to jump you. In most cases, in really, really bad cases, folks are getting ready to pull out pistola. I don't want to say the word because of him, but they're getting ready to pull out the,
it becomes very uncomfortable.
Dangerous.
It becomes uncomfortable and dangerous.
Yeah.
Being,
in America.
In America.
And y'all have seen it. Y'all have seen people literally attacking older Black and brown people. Yeah. Who were just asking questions for clarification or whatever. So, in that particular regard, I feel safe here in Portugal. And for the majority of the time, it's just myself and this little guy because my husband still lives in the States because of work. He doesn't have the flexibility that I have. So being a woman and being a woman who's here with the child, I feel really, really, really comfortable. Okay. So
when it comes to why Portugal, I think that we got caught into it had to be Lisbon or Porto.
Yeah. So you see that in the next video. We're gonna talk about.
But we'll save that for the next one.
Make sure that you click on the next video
to be continued
about the biggest mistakes that we have made when coming to Portugal, so that you don't make the same mistakes. Anything else on why Portugal?
I would say why Portugal too is you can go from the mountains to the beach in 30 minutes.
Yeah, the scenery is beautiful too.
I mean,
Beautiful.
Yes. Is the water cold? Oh, yes.
Ice
So,
cold. If
it
you need an ice dip, that's the place to go, to the Portuguese beaches.
That beach water is cold. It's a little
Yeah.
rough. It's not, it's not.
It's not Florida.
Yeah, it's not
a Florida
Clearwater.
beach.
It's
Or
not
St. Pete.
Miami. It's not North Shore
Oh my
in Chicago.
It's cold.
It's cold and it's got
Heavy.
rough edges.
It's heavy.
Got rough edges,
Yeah.
but it's such a long coastline
Yeah.
that you can find your own little spot.
Yeah.
And no one will be around you.
Yeah,
No
and
one
especially up this way versus being in Lisboa during the summertime.
Yeah.
They have like little small pockets of beach line, so it's full because everybody and their mama, the Europeans, the Americans, the British, like everybody's visiting Portugal in the summer. So all those little small beaches in Lisboa, packed.
Yeah.
Packed. I mean, you can. I probably got some old videos of pictures being
Yeah.
at the beaches. And people are literally right next to each other because it's so packed. But go ahead.
But for the most part, it's pretty safe. If you
Yeah,
have
it's
to
pretty
leave
safe.
your book bag or whatever, people pretty much look after you. If you're not at your spot that you lay
Yeah.
down and you put your book bag or your towels, whatever.
If you
Someone is looking out.
Yeah,
for you.
but don't be naive too, because that's the thing.
Yeah, of
like,
course. Yeah, of course.
It is a safe country, but crime happens everywhere. It doesn't matter
Absolutely.
where you are.
Absolutely.
And so you still want to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
You still want to make sure that you are paying attention to your. One thing that I found here, besides this spiritual journey of feeling like I was returning somewhere, what I found was a culture of people who were accepting, helpful, charismatic, very chill. Like people are not in a rush in Portugal. Coming from the States, I'm an entrepreneur. So I know what it's like to be on the go 24/7. Like, gotta hit this deadline. This needs to be done. When you first come here and you encounter that slowness, as I would say, it can be very frustrating because it definitely is a cultural difference. People are not in a rush. The difference is here, and I would say in most of Europe that I have visited so far, it is about community. It's about family. It's about slowing down in a way to speed up, right? Because if we can take time to slow down, we are in better spirits. We have more energy and momentum to really go and do the things that we need to do. And that's one thing that I totally love about being here in Portugal. Go to the park, and even years ago, we were in Lisbon. We go to the park. We're talking to people from Amsterdam, Portugal, Africa, Germany. Like it's just a full mixture of diversity. I mean, even the other day when we went for the
American couples
Right.
too. American
when
couples.
we went to the you weren't here yet, but when I went to the parent meeting before school started, and I'm talking to people that I know, right? So in this group of circles, lady from Argentina who lived in Italy for a long time, Angola, but lived in Portugal, now lives in Ireland.
Mhm.
Husband, Irish in Ireland. Friend, South Africa. Me, American. Come on, y'all. Like the diversity is just off the charts. And we all bring so many different experiences and value.
Yeah.
And it's like you find more people who are willing to give than take. And that's different for me.
Yeah.
Like I've always just have felt like I've been in a space where people just want to take. And it's exhausting because you give so much of yourself.
Mhm.
But being here is like, especially for the expat community, like although Ellie is technically Portuguese because she grew up here,
Right.
but she's been away also for a while too. So coming back, she's kind of like more in the expat
Right.
community. You find people who, they know that we're all in some in some facet going through the same things, right? Or have some of the same questions. And it's just amazing how people are so much more willing to say, hey, do you need this? Do you need that? And sometimes they don't even ask you, just like, hey, here you go. This is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So why Portugal? That's why.
Absolutely.
Yeah. reasons why I also wanted to come here was because of the language. And I think I shared with you years and years ago before we were even pregnant with Jojo. One of the things that fascinated me with speaking Portuguese was that it made me feel closer to my roots. Now, some of y'all might be saying, how can speaking Portuguese make you feel closer to your roots? Your roots are predominantly African, and Portugal or Portuguese is white European.
Mm-hmm.
We can't always say that, right? Because we know there was African influence in Portugal.
Right.
But still, at the end of the day, I don't know. For some reason, I just felt closer to my roots. And funny enough, years after coming here for the first time, I did a DNA test. I don't know if it's the same now, but when I did the DNA test, they told me I had like 1% Portuguese DNA. It was crazy, wasn't it?
Right.
So, don't allow other people to tell you how you're supposed to feel, because sometimes it's the ancestors speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. But I started learning Portuguese, and a lot of people ask me, how do I speak Portuguese? How did I learn? I taught myself. I found books. I started reading the books. I still buy books and I read those books. Any free opportunities to like hone the skill, I take advantage of it. And I wanted to come here because I'm like, okay, I really, really want to speak Portuguese,
Right.
So
And even with me, sometimes when I am out here and I sit back and I see her having conversation, I'm like, okay, whoa, okay, you don't need none of my help. You good. You going back and forth as long as they're talking clear. Of course, you got different people. They talk fast. Sometimes they talk fast. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they talk a little bit different. But for the most part, when she's talking to her neighbors, or she's at the post office, or she's at the lojas, as we call it, stores, she's doing very well. And then sometimes I'll jump in and she'll be like, this stuff. I say, yeah, I know. I'll be trying to act like I don't know, so I can catch people talking about me now. But
child.
but just because of my
heritage.
my upbringing was Creole,
Criollo. And it's a different de Criollo de Francis.
Yes.
Okay, it's different from the French Creole, because a lot of people say, if they say, hey, you'll follow Creole,
right,
they automatically think that you're speaking French Creole, and it's different. It sounds completely different as well.
Yeah. So, growing up, my parents talked to me in Creole, or my cousins or my family, but I had some Portuguese in there too, so it's kind of mixed in. Mostardo, as they say.
Mostardo.
Right.
Or mexido. Mostardo.
Yeah, when it's mixed up. When I'm mixing my Creole and Portuguese together. But I might be saying it wrong, but
I know mexido now, agora para ovos.
Right. And you know it now because it's so funny, because when we order egg, I always order sunny side up.
You like the sunny side up.
She hates the dribbling, or
I can't stand no wet eggs.
Wet eggs, or as you say. And she always tries to tell them how to do it.
But I always say misturo,
Right,
I think. Or mistarda, I don't know. And then the guy was like, mishido. And I was like, oh, yeah.
It's just a little bit different, but it means the same thing.
Yeah, but I know now it's mishido.
Right.
Mishido.
So,
yeah.
But those are the things that, we learning every day, every week, every minute, trying to, get into this culture. We're not here trying to just, buy a property and make money off of it. We actually want to be here.
Be a part of the culture.
I want to spend money on the local stores. I want to go to the local stores,
right.
And
I'll tell you, it's quite affordable going up, because when I went to the padaria for frutos, what did I get? I think I got some peaches, pound bread, something else. I can't remember. But I got about like 4 or 5 things. I know I got like 3 or 4 pieces of fruit, bread, and something else. I think I only spent like €3 and some cash. Like, it was.
Even though the United States dollar is about for every dollar.
Every euro.
Euro.
I think it's about 80 between. It fluctuates. The last time I looked at it was 83 cents.
Right. So you're
So I
losing
don't know.
about 15 to 17 cents, but the cost of food is not as high. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, the other day for lunch, we grabbed a nice size sandwich,
The baguette sandwich.
a couple of drinks.
Jojo had a donut.
Jojo had a donut and had his drink, and we spent about $7.
No. Me and Jojo shared the drink.
It was
Yeah,
shared
'cause he
by-
drunk. Yeah,
okay.
so he drunk at both.
Yeah, so a good little lunch was about $7.
It's like
Yeah.
this long.
It was like a foot.
Yeah.
It was like the
It was
Subway.
long. Yeah, it was long, and we split.
Ain't
it.
$5 footlongs no more.
We were good. Oh, in Portugal, you get $2 footlong.
You can get $2 footlongs. We should have a new video. $2 footlongs. $2 footlong sandwiches in Portugal.
For real.
Because you can still get it. So even though the dollar is less than the euro here, the expenses when you spend money.
When you look at it, it's a little bit different. But I have felt the increase as well.
Yeah.
So, being here, I have felt the increase in the tax and in the cost of food here.
Mm-hmm.
But still not near as close to what we spend in America to do a basic meal. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, so circling back around to the language really quick, and culture, it was also important to me that our son was connected to his culture. And like so many of us Americans who do not know where we're from. We may have now an understanding of where we originated from on the continent of Africa, but a lot of us have lost touch with our language. We've lost touch with our religion. We've lost touch with our tribe, and when I met my husband, it was like, wow, okay, I saw all the beautiful things about culture and language and family that I wanted for myself and I wanted for us if we built a family, and we have.
Right.
So Portuguese was part of that. Now eventually, eu quero aprender crioulo. I want to learn Creole, Portuguese Creole. I want Jojo to be able to learn Portuguese Creole. Anything else?
No, I think that is
That's
we can keep
go on all day.
Yeah, we can go all day. But just a couple of things that we wanted to share.
Really highlight.
I thought they was important if anyone is, interested.
And coming out this way. And if y'all come, first off, I'm here. You better not ever bring your butt to Portugal. And you don't hit me up, because I tell you, I always try, even at home, because we live an hour and a half outside of the city in Illinois, north of Chicago. If people hit us up, we make a way to link up with y'all. Mm-hmm. So if you come to Portugal, first off, I know some of the authentic places to go. Okay? Especially when we're talking about eating.
Yes, we do.
Queres muito bom comida? You want some real good food? Holla at your girl. Yeah. And I got to give a shout out to Primo, Carlos. Because of Carlos, I know some of these hot spots, okay? But don't come to Portugal and not hit me up. I would be highly offended.
Let us know, and we'll, point you in the right direction.
Exactly.
Or as best as we can.
Or come and see you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So
absolutely. I'm
super excited to have launched this channel, and I'm super excited to be here and sharing Why Portugal with you guys. This is the first of many experiences, and some things that you can expect on this channel is conversations about parenting abroad. How is our relationship while living separately in two different continents, right? Lawyering abroad. How is it for me to actually work and live in another country? Like, is that possible? Short answer, yes, and I'll be sharing with y'all why. But some other things to come up, like food prices. Our next video is going to be on mistakes that we made. A lot of people asked about, moving abroad, the visa process. It's so much that we're going to share with you. as well as like our international travels around Portugal, as well as other travels that we've done throughout the years and moving forward. So there's a lot to look out for. And if you have not yet, definitely like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that whenever we're releasing more information, you'll be aware of it. And guess what? You might find some untouched places that we've gone to that you did not think about going to visit. So
yeah, we ain't gonna give you all the secrets. That still have to be personal. We need the one-on-one. I don't want to tell everybody.
and then it's a whole influx of Americans at our spot. We're gonna be like, what's going on?
Next thing you know, they like in my spot. I'm like, hold up, man.
Nah, that's so wrong.
Nah.
We'll hook you out.
We'll be out.
But you gotta like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's the point. So again, I'm Savania DeBarros and
Eduardo DeBarros.
And this is Living DeBarros.
Yes, we are living DeBarros.
That's absolutely right. Until next time, guys. We'll see you later. Ciao.
Ciao. Deuces.